What did you see from Spencer that kind of went wrong?
Well, I mean, just the command thing again. I mean, you know, it's just when you're in Friday night, that's a really good arm to have. We knew we had a challenge there, but you're on a Friday night at this level of baseball, you can't construct innings for other teams. I mean, the margin of error, particularly with the young team, is really, really small. And when we're giving free bases and then, tonight not getting 2 outs on bunt, it's just some of our immaturity is showing, lack of execution, that you turn a 1-run inning into a multiple run inning, and that's the stuff. But just we expect more out of that on a Friday night start, and unfortunately he didn't have it.
How frustrating is it seeing how well he did in the fall? How you guys all talked about how he had such a great fall. Did he earn the role?
Well, we meet every Tuesday, I think, right? And that's the thing. I said I'm cautiously optimistic because you want to see it when the lights are on. And the unfortunate reality for, not the unfortunate, I don't think he'd want it any other way, but this is a results-oriented business. You got to do the job, players, coaches, everybody. So, it's not been the level that performance that we've expected up to this point, or that we've seen even in the inter squads leading up to. So, we'll see how that unfolds in the future. Are we giving up on Spencer Van Scoyoc? Absolutely not. I mean, that young man's going to have a big role for us to be good this year. And maybe it's not Friday night, but it's not for lack of trying. It just hasn't happened. So we'll see what we do moving forward.
What have been the differences in these 2 starts he's had compared to the fall ball?
Just the command. I mean, it's as simple as that, because if he's got good stuff, but it's simply not being able to locate a secondary pitch consistently, and I think you have to do that as a starter at this level, and particularly in this league. And the first 2 games just has not done that.
Did you think that the error in the third where he threw away the comebacker might have unnerved him once and for all, if he had been able to get that, maybe bounce back, keep you guys in there?
Well, that's kind of what I was saying about the constructing of the inning, because you get an out in that situation, and if you are struggling a little bit, you got to make that play. That's what you do. I don't know. I'm sitting here because I'm disappointed. I'm sure he's disappointed. It's like you don't want to pile on that. Sure, that would have helped to get it out. I think that would have helped his confidence. But the fact of the matter is he threw it away, and we built that inning for him. I think they scored all their runs off of walk-hit batsmen and bunts. So kind of a victim of our own circumstances there.
So when do you start, reevaluating the Friday night role? Is it too early now?
Truth be told, we sat around the office. I wasn't going to make my decision off of one weekend. There are some guys that are throwing the ball pretty well that are in the strike zone and given a chance. My thing was he deserved the opportunity to get a couple starts on Friday based on how he's thrown. But as I just said previously, that this is a results-oriented business. You got to produce. We can't have non-quality starts on Friday on 3-game weekends, because what that does strategically to your pen. So, and I'll back that up one more time by saying we're going to need that young man. We are, but maybe it's not on Friday night. So we'll see. We'll sit down and discuss that and do what's best for the team and do what's best for him, quite frankly. So we'll reevaluate once we have a little bit more time to let the dust settle from tonight.
How was his confidence tonight during that start? How'd you see him in the dugout?
He was fine. I don't. Nothing visible, but it's just you got to throw strikes and compete in the zone, and I think he was trying to do that. He just didn't do it.
Kind of speaking to the offense, when you have 6 guys combined going 0 for 20, obviously it's a young lineup. How do you balance the having to roll out what you think is the best team in terms of youth, but also trying to find any formula that can get you the wins early on here?
Well, I don't. That's about all we have on that bench is youth too. So, you know, we're going to have to live with some of these growing. I mean, I don't like it. You don't like it. Fans don't like it. But we're going to have to live with some of these growing pains because these, what have they played? You know, 5 baseball games in college, the majority of our team and so that's the tough part. I just said to them, I know this team's going to be good, but you know, it's going to take some execution. It's going to take some of the guys that we call veterans that, you know, have one season under their belt to start playing like that too. I have a lot of confidence in this group. I think once they settle in and understand, you know, the college game, this group's going to take off. But what we can't do is what we did tonight when you don't even give yourself a chance by giving too many free bases and then not taking outs when the team's laying down a bunt. You do that, I don't care how old you are, you're not going to win. But you know, this is one of those. They had an experienced pitcher on the mound. He's pretty good. He made our guys look like high school guys. Well, some of them are. So you know, I expect every outing, as long as we grow from that and continue to learn, we will turn the corner. I know that.
When you have a young team, how tough is it for them to see themselves get dug in a pretty early hole like that?
Well, that's the tough. I mean, you know, specifically to tonight, but I think the greatest challenge is making sure they don't lose confidence and don't lose sight of the big picture here, because you know, that's a good baseball team. We knew that, you know, we got our hands full tomorrow. They got a quality arm going at us tomorrow. It's just making sure that the youth on this team, that we don't lose confidence, because just as you can learn to win, you can learn to lose, and that's unacceptable. So, yeah, I'd say it's a little bit of frustration. You can sense it a little bit that, you know, we're down again, and that goes to the whole part of when you're rolling somebody out on Friday. Those games are usually going to be 3-1, 3-2, and we just didn't give ourselves a chance tonight. But that cannot be an excuse how you approach your ABs. So I would say a combination of our lack of success offensively was you know, our approach, but also their guy was doing a pretty good job.
Speaking on the positive side, how is Dellin impressing you early on?
Well, you know, he's throwing strikes, competing in the zone, and I think if you do that, you give yourself a chance. And the thing with him is he's pitching with some confidence right now, and you know, every outing that he gets out there, because it's the first time he's played college baseball as well, it's going to help. It's going to pay dividends. You know, we're still trying to figure that staff out a little bit and see what guys' roles are. But yeah, that was good to see from him. I thought he competed well.
What went behind starting Canning in center field and Bishop and right?
Well, I mean, in the off season, you know, Hunter's got probably more true speed, raw speed. We said if he can do it, we're a better team because of the way Gage throws the baseball. But it's just, you know, with the experience that we have around the diamond, we want to be as strong as we can at the middle. And I thought Spencer, Hunter made an unbelievable play in right field. You know, as funny as this may sound, the question on the bench was does Gage catch that ball? You know, because of the speed piece of it. But I just think he makes us more stable. You know, he's going to be able to, I think, calm Hunter a little bit in right, and then also there's probably going to be a freshman, Hunter in right, but also to Gage's right, he's probably going to have 2 freshmen, you know, playing there the whole time, so he's going to be a stabilizing force for them. So that's really kind of, we thought all along those guys were interchangeable. We did a lot of that in our fall scrimmages and our pregame scrimmages or preseason scrimmages, playing those guys back and forth in the event that we were going to switch it. So.
You touched on St. Mary's Star being really effective tonight. He seemed like he was changing speeds pretty well, but what specifically did you see from him that was so effective?
Well, he was 2 strikes. You know, he was 2 strikes all the time, and when you can drop that off speed in there consistently behind an account, I think we were in 2-strike counts. I want to say 22 or 23 times. You know, he did a really nice job. He did a nice job. We didn't do a good job of taking something away. He was away. We didn't take the fastball, you know, away out of his repertoire. We didn't make him change, and which, you know, played into what he was doing. So he's pretty good.
Do you think the momentum of the game could have changed after Gage Canning got off the first double, and then you guys would have gotten him in, and then it would have been 1-1, and all of a sudden maybe the Spencer has more confidence?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The more controllable scenarios for me are they lay a bunt down, you get an out on a bunt. And they laid 2 bunts down, and we didn't get an out on either one of them, and next thing you know, you're down 2 runs later. If we get an out on those bunts, they don't score. That, to me, is more controllable than trying to hit a 90-mile-an-hour object that's coming at you. I think it's easier to get an out on a bunt. So, I understand where you're going with that, and maybe if we score, that does something to his psyche, but just like we talked with those guys right now, there's no magic wand to this. There's no emotional thing to this. It's like play better baseball. Team gives you an out, take the out. Make them earn every base. We're giving up too many free bases. And when you're struggling or you've got the youth offensively, and I think we're going to hit. I know we're going to hit, but you can't rely on that all the time. You've got to make every 90 feet. You got to make them work for it. We're not doing that right now. So. Tough to win that way.
Spencer's command issue. What goes into fixing something like that?
Good question. If you can figure that out, be a big league pitching coach. Cat, we're talking about that. It's just confidence in the repetition and trusting your mechanics. Sometimes you'll see guys, you watch them throw in a bullpen, it's boom, 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 and then you get out there, and I don't know if the heart rate elevates. I don't know. But I don't think it's for a lack of trying. I think he's made progress. Maybe we moved him along too far. We'll take that one, but we're going to get him in a role that's more comfortable for him and allows him to get some of that back, but also helps us accomplish what we want to do, which is, win a bunch of baseball games. So like I said, he's going to be a big role for us. It may not just be on Friday night.
Who will you start tomorrow?
We're going to Eli. Eli, yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right, appreciate it.